Hello, welcome to Burning Questions. Back after a little week hiatus. We had the great Andy Gath threw us into a bit of a spanner there last week and a public holiday as well with Anzac Day, and we just weren't able to get the show done. So many apologies for that. We did have Abby Sanderson lined up. She was so keen to be a part of it, did all her form, was all wasted. You nearly got the job done with Dangerous, but I had to have you back this week, Abby. So welcome to Burning Questions. Thanks for jumping on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We've got Ewa Justice at the top of my screen. Great to have a Tasmanian Cup hero joining me on the show here. She did a little bit more work than I did, but I'm never gonna stop bringing this up ever because it's one thing we've got in common anyway.
Yeah, I don't expect you to ever stop bringing it up, but thanks for having me.
There's worse things to bring up, I'm sure. That's the one thing I'm going to bring up. I do have the trophy over the back there, but we'll leave that alone. Kyle Marshall also joins us. He is he's enemy territory for me this weekend. We're going head to head with a horse later on in the show. We'll talk about that one, but really appreciate you jumping on, Kyle. Looking forward to your insights.
Yeah, cheers, Tim. Thanks.
It'll be good fun. Let's get stuck right into it. The first of our sponsors is Pride's Easy Feed. They stand as a proud supporter of the harness racing industry with their set recipes and quality ingredients to give the trainer confidence in what they're feeding. So make the switch to Pride's and start getting the result you've been chasing. We'll hold you to last here, Abby. This one's about Dangerous. Dangerous was nabbed in the shadows last time out, but can he go one better in this fast class bout? We're talking about race 1 at Melton on Saturday night. He comes into barrier 3 now with the scratching of Vanquish Stride. Might start with you, Kyle. This is a good little race to kick off the card. It's about $3 the field. There's a number of winning chances. You'd know a little bit about a few of these horses from back home in New Zealand. How do you see it panning out, and who do you think wins the opener?
Yeah, that's right. It's quite an even field, I see. A couple of Andy Gath tried quite nice at Geelong. But, yeah, obviously Dangerous is going good. And, yeah, Abby's going pretty good on him. He can be a funny horse, but he's drawn a bit better, and he might find the front there.
Would you lean his way? $3.40 for Dangerous. Is that the sort of, you think he's the most likely winner?
Yeah, it's quite even, but yeah, I think about $3 is the right price for him.
Okay, good stuff. Eva, we'll go to you here. Outlaw Man at $3.20 favourite. Dangerous $3.40. Terry $3.60. Just a little tip. First up at $5. They're the key horses in the market. Which way do you think the opener will go?
I'm not really sure. Like you said, it's fairly even, but with the draws being reversed with Tangoing with Sierra and Dangerous, I think Tangoing with Sierra will try to get to the fence. Whether Terry can hold up, and then Dangerous will be out wide. So I think there will be a fair bit of speed early. And even like Captain over the 1720, he's known for his electric gate speed. So I think there will be a lot of speed, and it could possibly set it up for a horse like Outlaw Man, who's just going to be off the speed. But I still lean the way of Dangerous. He's going really well. You can't knock him. And I think this race is probably not a drop back in class, but I think he will definitely get his chance.
Okay. So you're leaning towards Dangerous. We'll bring in Abby Sanderson, who I think that was your first defeat, Abby, wasn't it, on Dangerous the other night? Not to rub salt into the wound, but you've been able to get on with him very well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had a good record together. Unfortunately, we come unstuck last time, but at least it was only second.
That's right. Talk us through your thoughts. You've probably been thinking about this race as soon as the fields came out and what might pan out. It's not straightforward, but is there any chance you find the fence first, or are you just going to look for a spot in the running line?
I don't think it's completely out of it that he completely out of it to lead. He is quite fast out, and especially he'll come out of barrier number 3. But Tangoing with Sierra and Terry both have good gate speed, so it'll probably be hard to cross them side by side. But and like Captain's outside of me, but he held it last week. So I don't necessarily think he has to be in front to win the race, but yeah, you know, it'll probably have to see what happens after the first 100 metres.
What are your confidence levels? Do you think he can win? I mean, you genuinely head of the race and think he's good enough?
I think he's a winning chance. He's good enough to win. And I wouldn't rule out any of them horses, like Just a Little Sip and both of Andy's. And only thing is maybe Andy's a first up, but he has him pretty right. So I wouldn't rule any of them out, but he's definitely a winning chance.
Yeah. Just a quick word on Vanquish Stride. I see he's scratched. He's going really well. He's ready to win. Hopefully there's no issue with him.
Yeah, he's going good. He's ready to win. He's just had a couple runs every week, which probably doesn't suit him. And yeah, he's all right. He just didn't suit him this week. He's had a few runs in a couple weeks.
No worries. He's also got Perfect Stride in the race, drawn 7. Probably a little bit tricky for Ryan and Perfect Stride out there. Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll be doing his best.
Good stuff. That is the first of the burning questions out of the way. Salkia, they're a fantastic supporter of the show. They combine the power of results and horse sectionals to give you access to gate speed, swooper, ability, and behaviour ratings. Never miss a trainer, driver, or gear change again. Salkia is a form guide revolution. Does Kyle hold the ace in the Benstud Pace, or is there some rivals that can make this a race? Ever, that is about as good as I can do there. 3 words that all rhyme. In one. That took me about 10 minutes to come up with that. Now, give us your thoughts on this race. Smoke and Ace, if I scroll down on my form guide, he goes around in race number, when I get there, where is it? You might be able to help me out here.
7.
7, it is. Race number 7. What are your thoughts here? He draws barrier 5. He's first up from a spell. He's got really good 2-year-old form, but this is a good little even field. And just keep in mind that anything you say here that's negative towards number 6, the only decision will be held against you. If you just have a look at the ownership in that horse, just be careful.
I won't say anything negative about him. Yeah, Smoking Ace is clearly a really, really nice horse. He's won his first 7, I think it was. So he's clearly the class runner of the field. Being first up, though, and a fair bit of speed inside him. Also his first look at racing sort of the open-aged horses. He could be a little bit vulnerable, but I think if his class prevails, he will be hard to beat, although he'll probably have to do it fairly tough.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You're driving He's Ollie from Barrier 1 for Scotty Ewan. I went back and had a bit of a look at the form. He's a known gate speed runner, a leader. I don't think he's ever handed up willingly when he's led. I think there was one time he might have got classed way back, but I mean, he's a known front runner. I thought he went pretty well the other day, and he won from the death 2 starts ago. I guess the big question is, from a speed map perspective, do you think and you want to hold up and hold the front? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I haven't really spoke to Scotty yet, but I think that would be his plan A. He said last week over the short distance he just got a bit lost. He wasn't sure about running the 1200, but I think that would be plan A, considering I think 2 starts ago he sat in the death at Bendigo over the trip and ran pretty good times. So I think plan A would definitely be to hold up, especially since he's fit, he's seasoned, and he's drawn 1. So I guess all good things should take advantage of all those good things, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's a great drive for you. Race 7, number 1. He's Ollie. We'll hold you to last. Abby, what's your thoughts on this race? It is the 3rd leg of the quaddie. There's a number of winning chances. I mean, there's some really good horses going well. There's even horses like, Aussie Batless. I know he's a bit of a roughie here, but he's getting back and back in grade. Courageous Stain, horses like that. Who do you think the most likely winner is? Is it Smoke and Ace? He's going to be short, but is he the class runner here?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll probably take a bit of beating Smoke and Ace in that race. It's an even and strong enough field, but I think he's got a bit of class on them. And over the long, although there is a bit of speed inside of him, over the long, he's first up. But I think if he makes his way forward, he'd find a good spot. And yeah, I think he'll take a bit of beating in that race, especially.
Yeah, okay. So you're with Smoke and Ace, essentially. So that's pretty good push there. Now, the man we want to talk to about this one, Kyle. I think there was a bit of jostling I think there might have been a couple of horses with Chris Alford next to him, but you're taking the drive on Smoke and Ace with Puppet in Sydney. Kyle, I guess talk us through where he's at fitness-wise. I think he's had the 3 trials. He's trialled pretty well. He won 1 at Geelong a couple of runs ago. Are you happy with him? And then we might talk about the speed now.
Yeah, really happy with him. He's come back a bit stronger. Yeah, 3 trials, so he's pretty fit. All trials have been with plenty of merit. He trialled at Melton on Tuesday behind Son and Matt, and I just followed them around, and he felt really strong actually. He's a laid back horse and pretty versatile, but yeah, really happy.
Yeah. What about the race shape? You know, he's shown gates better in his 2-year-old days. I guess it's a little bit hard to measure up in those races, but are you going to press the button? Do you think you can find the front? Do you want to find the front?
Yeah, it's always good to sort of roll forward, and if the front's there, I'll definitely be after it. But look, he's pretty versatile, so yeah, we'll just go out with him, and he relaxes. I think he can sit parked and drop the bit, you know. So yeah, we'll roll forward, see what the good horse outside us wants to do, and we might get the 1-1 behind him.
Yeah. Just a quick word on the early decision. What are your thoughts? You probably weren't that complimentary of his ability back home, but my old mate Sam Barker's done a really good job with him, hasn't he?
Oh, for sure. No, it was a great win last start. So yeah, all credit to Sam. He's done a great job.
But Smoking Ace, Kyle, he's good enough to win Park, you think, in this race?
Yeah, look, I'm really happy with the horse. I think he's pretty versatile, and I sort of do. He's fit enough, and I do sort of expect him to win with the plans that we have in mind for the horse.
Yeah, I was going to ask you just before we move to question 3. He's heading to Queensland.
Yeah, at this stage, yeah, if he keeps progressing and keeps aiming for those targets we set out for him, he'd there.
Good stuff. Good luck on Saturday night. I hope you run a slashing second behind the mighty, the only decision. Even a dead heat, I'd take that. And I hope you run third. You can run. Look at a 3-way dead heat, I reckon. Here ever, that'd be right. He's Ollie. Smoking Ace, the only decision. Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on. Logical Staffing Solutions provide labour hire and recruitment services to the transport, warehousing, automotive, and manufacturing industries. A logical solution for your staffing needs. Can Ludacrous make it 3 in a row, or is this Mayor's Clash too tough of a show? Let's bring up that race. It is. I need to be better planned here. I might not need you. My 3. There it is. A good old Ludacrous. Horse number 10. She's been really good. Kyle, I might go to you first. I've gone back through her form. She's only ever won her races when she's led. She's won both races as preparation leading, but in good time. This is a good mare's race, though. Race 3 on the card. Perfect in Pink. Second up for Emma Stewart's obviously going to be really tough to beat. Can Ludacrous do it, or are you in the camp of another horse here?
Look, it's probably going to be hard from that draw, but yeah, Kate's got that horse going good this prep. Yeah, she's looked really good, but yeah, from the draw over short distance, it may be hard with that Emma Stewart runner drawn in front of it, and possibly find the front or go from there. Yeah.
Abby, what are your thoughts? Lisa Miles has got to really click with this horse, Ludacrous, for Kate Hargraves. Lovely horse. I would probably be looking elsewhere in this race. I thought Perfect Pink was really brave, had a crack to the lead there. Might be able to work over and find the front here. Would probably be game over if that was the case.
Yeah, I thought the same, and especially over the short. No doubt Ludacrous is a good filly, and it'll win some more races. But it's speedy, but it's predominantly from its races. It's shown it's a front runner, and for barrier number 10 over the short, I think it'll be a bit hard when some of our main rivals like Perfect in Pink, Chinchilla, and Is This Just Fantasy are drawn off the front row, and they're probably the 3 big guns, and they might get in front of it early, which I think will be crucial. So yeah, I'm probably with Perfect in Pink, or Is This Just Fantasy?
Yeah, I'm with you. Eva, what are your thoughts? Are you sort of seeing it like us, that it might be too tough for Ludacrous, or do you think she's good enough to overcome that draw and make it 3 in a row?
Yeah, I mean, she's clearly a nice filly, but like you said, all her wins have actually been from in front. And I think from in behind, she can pull quite hard. So that could be another factor. But I just thought Perfect in Pink would find the front. And I thought Chinchilla was also a really good chance first up.
Okay. Yeah, well, if Perfect in Pink is able to find the front, you think she'd be really hard to beat. I'm just going to give one little shout out to a horse that I think's going really well. I don't know if this is the race for it, but I was impressed with the way Young, Gifted and Black got home out wide off the track in that race last start behind Perfect in Pink and Co. And I reckon there's a win in store for her. Maybe it's not on Saturday night, but just keep her in your black book. Young, Gifted and Black, particularly if she's drawn to on the front going forward. She's a nice horse for Anthony Butt, Sonia Smith. Now this, I'll bring the race up before I ask the question. It is race 6 on the card. Ollivici looks hard to beat, but could he be vulnerable if there's some early heat? Race 6 on the card is the Aldebaran Park Vulcan Trotters Free for All. We'll hold you to last here, Ever. You're driving hatchback in the race. Kyle, what's your thoughts here? I was really impressed with Ollivici when he worked to the front last start. I thought the same scenario would probably happen, but I did have a bit more of a look before we logged on, and there is a bit of speed here. She's the Wish, Sundance Carriage, Majestical Bell, Ebony's Avenger. There might be a bit happening early. Do you think Olivici's potentially under the odds, or will he get it done?
Yeah, I think he'll get it done. I think he'll end up one in front, and he's just been too good. The last couple have been with merit, and he's obviously a nice horse, and I think he gets in this race pretty well.
Okay, I think he's about $1.50, so good push from Kyle. Abby, what are your thoughts? It's a good race, but I think most people would agree he's the class. Do you think he'll win, Ollivici?
Yeah, I do. I think he'll win. There is a bit of speed inside of him, but I think with a horse of Olivici's class that he'd probably just bullock his way to the top, especially with She's a Wish being first up. She might be a bit vulnerable, so it might take a sit and not Sundance Courage isn't first up, but yeah, I think it'll probably just bullock its way to the top and win. But I think Ebony's Avenger's got a good chance too, depending where it gets to in the run. It's got a bad draw, but it hit the line really well last start. It was really unlucky. So, yeah, I think Ollivici will be too good, but I think Ebony's Avenger will run a good race.
Yeah, I see Ryan Duffy's driving Ebony's Avenger, which is interesting. Can fly off the gate. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I did read a story this week that Neville Pangrazio was talking about She's a Wish, and he basically said that he thought she could hold anything out, and they'd be pretty happy to take cover on a horse, basically saying Ollivici would be welcome to roll to the front. So that's interesting, but I guess a lot of other people might know that. Sometimes Carriage led pretty easily last start, handed up to Ollivici and was ordinary. A lot of scenarios ever. I haven't probably even scratched the surface of them. What do you think will happen here? You obviously want a bit of tempo on up front to bring Hatchback into the race.
Yeah, a bit of tempo would be really nice, but in saying that, I still think that Ollivici is definitely the class runner. He won 2 Inter-Dominion heats and then had a problem in the final. None of these horses were in it except for mine, but he's not up to that yet. He's none of them have been in an Inter-Dominion, so I think he's definitely the class runner. Actually, Illawong Stardust has as well, but I still think Olivici's the class runner, and even if he didn't lead, which I see it very unlikely anyone holding him out, but even if he didn't lead, I still think he'd be able to win. And he's obviously back to his best, according to his last run. So yeah, a bit of tempo would be nice, but I think that would also bring horses like Sebastian's Boy into it. I mean, he's clearly a really nice trotter, and I don't think we've seen the bottom of him yet, but I still think Olivici's the one to beat.
Yeah, it is a good race. Sebastian's well, we barely mentioned him apart from you. I think he's got a lot of talent. Mercenary was really good last start, just couldn't get it done. Just a quick word on Hatchback, Ever, before we go to the best bets. He's going, he's thereabouts, but he's not going to win out of turn in company like this, is he?
No, his last 2 runs have been much improved. He just needs a draw because he's got that really good gate speed. So once he gets a draw and he can lead or take a sit behind the leader, that'll be his race. But I'm not sure hopefully he runs another honest race, but I'm not sure this is his one.
Yeah. Have you got any other drives? You got other drives on Saturday night? Just a quick word on those. La Belle Bijou, is that the only other one we haven't touched on?
I got, La Belle Bijou. She went super last start. Just to, the draw doesn't really suit her, but we'll have to see early what happens. But she's definitely good enough in that field. And I've also got Sports Rack in the last race, who's going really well as well.
Okay. What's your best winning chance on Saturday night?
Best winning chance. I think probably Oh, Rob's horse, La Belle Bijou, she's going really well. I think if we can somehow manage to be up there, because she's sort of a front running sort of pacer, if we can be up there, she's got a really good chance. But I also am a big fan of Sports Rack's chances in the last race. He's going super well, and he looks like he could possibly find the lead. And if that happens, he'll be hard to run down.
Okay, good stuff. Good luck. You got a great book of drives. It's the Sharps Bakery Best Bets segment here. This is an important segment. Before we get to the best bets, have I asked you, have you been to Birchip and had the famous vanilla slice from Sharps Bakery?
I haven't had the vanilla slice, but I do remember I went there after Birchip this year.
A bit of a hangover, probably. What about you, Abby? Have you tried the mighty vanilla slice from the team there at Sharps Bakery?
No, I haven't. I probably should have. I've been to Birchip a few times, but I haven't. But I have no doubt that it's good.
I was thinking if you've tried it, Kyle.
What's that?
I was thinking if you've tried the vanilla slice from Sharps Bakery. You probably don't even know what a vanilla slice is.
No, I haven't tried that.
We might have to get the guys to send us up a crate full. Righto, the best bets, courtesy of Sharps Bakery. Ever, I might go to you first. You nearly pulled off a heroic effort there over the Mildura Carnival. What was the horse? I'm blinging it. Was it a double figures?
No, only once bitten.
Only one's bitten. Couldn't get out there and just missed there at $9-10. What are you going to do for us this week at Melton?
I think I'm gonna put a bit of pressure on myself. Actually, I think that Sports Rack race 9, number 3, he's got a really good chance. He's been flying at the moment. He's run last start. He was 3rd behind Is Just Fantasy. So I think that's really good form leading into this race. So I think he's probably my best. Yeah.
Okay, good start. Race 9, number 3, Sports Rack. He's $6.50 on the form rating price here, courtesy of Craig Rail. Abby, what are you going to do with your best bet? Are you going to put the pressure on yourself with Dangerous, or are you going elsewhere?
No, I'm not going to put pressure on myself. A bit superstitious about that, so I might go elsewhere. I think race 2, number 1, Final Collect, has got a really good winning chance. It is super in its 3-year-old campaign, and I think drawn 1, if it sits behind Captain Hammerhead, I think it probably could get it. Captain Hammerhead went good last start, but I think Final Collect's going really well, and I think it's got a good chance to win or each way. I don't see it out of the top 3.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That was sort of one that I was looking at a bit of a price. $5.50 on the ratings here. Obviously wasn't at its best last time out, but the prior run's been really good. Draw as well. I agree. Race 2, number 1 for Abby, Final Collect. Kyle, please tell me you're going to go with Smoke and Ace as your best bet. That'll really put the pressure on you.
Oh, look, I think he's obviously a real good chance, but I think he'll end up paying real short in the end. But I actually like Coco Cabana. Might be the race after that. She's had runs. She broke the track record at Cranbourne off 50 metres. And then at Warragul, she just didn't get into it, but she's drawn nice in the right sort of field, and I think she can nab a place in that.
Okay, so you'd say a place bet would be your suggested bet, or each one?
I'll do a multi. Smoke and Ace to win, Coco Cabana to place.
Oh, okay, I like that. Well, that's good. Are we having a couple of quiet beers on the result between the only decision and Smoke and Ace? Whoever beats whoever home.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Let's do 6 beers on that. I don't know why I've done that, because I've given you a fair old advantage in the prices, but good luck to you, mate. My best bet is a multi as well. This is a little soft, but I just could not find much I liked on Saturday. I'm going to go with Ollivici to win into Ladies in Red. I think last look they were both around the $1.50 mark. I cannot believe Ladies in Red was about $1.65 for most of the week. So Ollivici to win, Ladies in Red to win up in Sydney. That's my play. Hey, guys, really appreciate you jumping on. Ewa Justice, much appreciated. Go well on Saturday night.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me. It's been good.
Well done, Abby. This is your debut, I reckon. So you've lived up to all the pressure that we put on you.
Thank you for having me.
Good on you, Carl. Really appreciate you jumping on, mate, and look forward to those beers. I drink VB, so just get those ready for us.
Yeah, cheers, Tim. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. That's been Burning Questions. It's the 3rd of May. Keep in tune to trotsvision.com.au on Saturday night for the big card from Melton. We'll be back next Friday with another edition of Burning Questions.